What's going on, guys? TT here, and I'm gonna do a quick preview of the Ole Miss Vanderbilt game coming up this Saturday. And quickly, I want to apologize for not getting any previews or recaps out for the first week in college football. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna do any recaps at this point. I feel like it's too late. It's already Tuesday at the time I'm recording this. Uh, but Not very many big games in the SEC this week. None at all, really. This is the biggest one, and it's not very big. But I am going to preview it because it is a SEC versus another SEC team. I think the only other two games I'll be previewing are the Auburn San Jose State game and the South Carolina East Carolina game, just because those are the two that I feel most intriguing. Uh, but just a quick recap from both these teams this past week. Ole Miss has a close game from the first half against Boise State, and then basically blows the doors off of them in the second half. I think the final score was 35-13. Maybe wrong on that though. And then Vanderbilt looked absolutely horrible and got destroyed by Temple. An absolutely uh, embarrassing performance, and not the way you want to start off the Derek Mason era. It seems like there's been a lot of changes in one. It's crazy how much 1 year's difference can make, and that is clearly apparent there in Vanderbilt. Derek Mason pulls Patton Robinette out of the game, which I thought was a mistake in the first quarter. I mean, didn't give him much of a chance to prove anything, and played I think three different quarterbacks. I mean, just kept going down the list, man. And you do not want to do that. Now, like that team's already in shambles. They don't know who. They don't know if to trust what quarterback to trust. They don't know if they can trust the coach. Absolutely horrible situation. Nothing good can come out of that game. To be honest with you, I watched like the first half of it. Really didn't pay attention to the second half. Just kind of listened to it, but it was horrible. And even with probably, well, definitely the worst team in the SEC this year, that's embarrassing for an SEC fan like myself. Nobody wants to see that. Ole Miss. Uh, we saw both the good and the bad of Bo Wallace. He threw three picks, I believe, all in the first half, were they not? And then he came up and showed up in the second half. Laquan Treadwell's an absolute beast. I think that was a big part of the turnaround for Bo Wallace. He said, "Hey, I can just turn around and throw it to this guy. Nobody can match up with him on Boise State's team. Laquan Treadwell's a beast." And how about that defense for Ole Miss? Really looked impressive. Uh, Secondary coming up and laying the lumber on the Boise State running backs and receivers. About that hit with Cody Pruitt, man, that was phenomenal. I think everyone I was watching the game with about jumped out of their chairs when they saw that. Uh, Probably the biggest hit of the weekend that I saw, at least. And very impressive performance by that defense and overall by the team, the whole team overall in the second half. Really was impressive. Now looking forward to this game. This game will be played in the Titans Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee, Tennessee Titans Stadium, uh, which is an interesting move. I don't know what the thought process behind that is. I don't know why you wouldn't just put it in your stadium. It's not like you have the only. It's really storming really bad here. The only reason I'd say to play at the Titans Stadium would be for maybe like a Tennessee Vandy game or something like that. Something to where like Vanderbilt Stadium isn't big enough, but that's not going to be the case for this game. That stadium's going to be probably filled with about 70% Ole Miss fans, and I don't see how Vanderbilt can compete in this game. There's no way in hell. I mean, it's going to have to be a complete turnaround from this past Thursday night. I mean, Temple, man. Maybe Temple's a pretty good team. They were decent last year, but I mean, it was clear that team is in shambles. James Franklin was the single reason for the turnaround at Vanderbilt over the past couple of years. He's gone. I knew this year would be rough, but I didn't know it would be rough. I thought it would, but I thought maybe Derek Mason would have a chance uh, to build it and maybe get back to a bowl type team. But it's not looking like that, man. He's not. I don't think he's going to last at Vanderbilt, and it really makes you appreciate what James Franklin did while he was at Vanderbilt. He was a phenomenal coach, and I think that's going to carry over to Penn State. I don't know how good they'll be, but I think they're going to be competing for the Big Ten championship. I don't know about this year, but in the near future. But that's off topic. I don't see how Vanderbilt's offense is going to put up hardly any points in this game. It was this, by the way, this was a an unbelievable game to open up the college football season last year, and very different game. I think this one's going to be. Well, I don't know why they're playing in Nashville again. I guess this is how the schedule worked out. Sometimes that type of thing happens, but yeah, this is gonna. I don't see how Vanderbilt's gonna put up any points on Ole Miss's defense. This is probably the best defense Ole Miss has had in my lifetime, at least. I'm 22 years old, so it's been a long time. And man, Robert Condici, I think is Denzel Condici playing in this game. I think he's coming back. I don't think he played the other day against Boise, but secondary literally looked impressive uh, in all facets of the game, stopping the run and coverage. Ole Miss's running backs looked a lot better than I thought they would too, and they really have a complete team. But it comes down to Bo Wallace. If Bo Wallace has to play well, he had some threw some horrible picks against Boise State a couple times where you just couldn't imagine what the hell he's looking at. I really had questions while watching that first half if Bo Wallace could see properly. I really didn't know if he could see because I didn't see on that one interception where I think they were on about the Boise like 25-yard line where he threw I think it was like a slant. He just never saw the linebacker. Man, that was a mistake that you would not expect a middle school or a high school quarterback to make. Anyone could have saw that linebacker there. Unbelievable that he threw that ball though, but he made up for it. I didn't think he ever played phenomenal in the second half, but he played well enough, and he's low. He has a lot of talent around him, and Ole Miss is a very talented team. This is a very dangerous team in the SEC West. Uh, I guess there's not really a whole much else to say. I mean, this I would be very surprised if Ole Miss doesn't win this game by at least 4 touchdowns. I think it'll be that bad. I mean, hell, Temple beat him by worse than that. So, I mean, this game could get really ugly, really ugly. Uh, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say that maybe Vanderbilt looks a little bit better in like the first quarter, and they can stick around, but they'll end up losing 42-10. The Ole Miss Rebels over the Vanderbilt Commodores this Saturday at 3:30, and it's the only SEC versus SEC game, and it's the biggest SEC game of the week. So I guess that's what we have to look forward to as SEC fans this week. It kind of sucks because college football is just starting. It's kind of like we get like an off week this week, which kind of sucks. But there is some other big games around the around the nation, so I guess it'd be a good time for SEC fans to watch other games around the country, like Oregon, Michigan State, and USC and Stanford. But yeah, that's about it. I got Ole Miss winning this one 42-10. As always, I thank y'all for watching, and I'll catch you next time.